9:14 p.m. A little late for a recap, but as you can see, I did not take a trade for today. Today is still Thursday, but you guys know how it goes. It's technically Friday, but let's go over the trade that I just took. So let's get into that. Okay, so Asia session, I don't normally trade, but I did take a trade tonight. Let me delete some of these real quick. Okay, so why did I take a trade tonight and not tomorrow morning? Well, if we jump over here to forexfactory.com, Friday morning, 5:30 a.m., there's CPI, and I work at 11 a.m., so I'm not really sure what the market's going to do. I'm not really sure if there's going to be trade opportunities tomorrow. There probably will be, but I wanted to hop on tonight, see what the market was doing, and potentially allow myself to sleep in, honestly. So what did I do? I hopped on and I was looking at the market, and yeah, higher time frame. There were two New York draws above. There was internal draw resting right here. I'll make that like orange. And besides that, market was just slowly grinding up, aiming towards these draws. So yeah, all I did was go to the lower time frame and up my contracts, because when I trade really low time frame, I up my contracts. When I trade higher time frame, I lower my contracts, right? So what I saw was, okay, we traded back into this hourly gap, tapped into it, and continued going higher. So again, we're aiming towards this internal draw, New York and New York. Down on the 15-minute, again, it's even clearer that we tapped into this hourly gap, 15-minute gap. We broke the 50-minute gap, went higher, retraced to go higher again. We created an hourly gap right over here that we tapped into right here to go higher. Okay, so it all just shows that it's just a slow grind up, and even it's like trending upwards, right? So what did I do? Again, went down to the super small time frame. It's not my favorite thing to do because, again, like I said, I trade heavy contracts in the small time frame. But went down to the small time frame. There's this 5-minute gap right here, coinciding with the 1-minute gap that we tap into right there. Created an MSS with a 1-minute MSS to the upside right here. Okay, we tap into it, and then we finally broke. Retrace right there to continue going higher. That was the retrace for longs to play out. There was the break out of this 1-minute gap right here. Right, so we have a 1-minute gap right here, 1-minute gap right here, and there's also this 1-minute gap right here. But that 1-minute gap is also a 5-minute gap. Okay, why does all this matter? Well, this 5-minute gap is very important because we're using this 5-minute gap right here as our break to the upside. And I was trading right around this time, right in here. Okay. So jumping back down, right, I was trading right in here. So utilizing this 5-minute gap right here, we can see that there is also a 1-minute gap that's a little bit bigger, so we can kind of use that to our advantage. So on the lower time frame, we did have a break of the 1-minute to the upside, which if you caught that long, great. Caught it right to this draw right here, but buyers were exhausted at that point. So what happened? It tried to break out of the 5-minute, and we just retraced down to this 1-minute gap right here. right? Retrace down to the 1 minute gap. It could have gone lower, but this one's already filled by this. So it just retraced to the initial to balance it out. And then what happened? Buyers stepped back in to then refill price to break through this 5 minute gap, right? We wanted to break it. So price broke out of the 5 minute gap, also with the 1 minute gap to finally take out this draw right here. This was final TP. Oops. Final TP along with all of these. So TP3. Now you might be wondering, okay, where did I get in? Right? Okay, well, let's look at that real quick. Showing chart executions. See, I went long right here. I went long on the break. We can see I got a not the best entry, but it worked. So what was it? 25289, 28. Yeah, horrible fill for these two. Way up here, and then I got out at 9. Is that 9.8 or 9.3? 9.3. Okay, so like 6 or 7 points for $270 because I'm trading 30 cons. But again, that would have been the trade. Break, targeting the 5 minute, retrace down to the 1, take the 1 minute FVG gap, targeting draws above, coinciding with the 5 minute gap, boom. That would have been it. I did take a trade or two on the 3 evals right here, coming out to $410. You can see it was a long, but that was it. Nothing crazy. And yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to trade tomorrow, but we'll see. Also, I got my payout approved right here, 18 and 19, $3,800. So that's looking pretty good. See, I've already had 3 payouts this year so far. So yeah, I've had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a little over $10,000 this year so far in payouts. But we're trying to look for a 10K month. But yeah, so far the amount of money that's hit my bank this month is 5K, because this right here was a late request. These 330s late requests, so these 4 all hit the bank this month. So if I can stack another payout this month, it'll be a 10K month. But we'll see. I'm not rushing anything. Again, I'm just kind of cruising along. Over here in the stats on the funded accounts, nothing crazy, just going for base hits. But with all that being said, I'm going to end it there. If you have any comments about how I trade, what I look for, contract sizing, and all that good stuff, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.